Hi everyone, welcome back for another whiskey review. Today looking at this Glendronach Single Cask, part of the batch 18, released in 2020. 1992 distilled, 27-year-old, aged in a Pedro Ximenez puncheon. 694 bottle release and aged for 27 long years. Now, one thing I want to point out, I hope you've seen my other review of the 1992 batch 18 single cask aged in an Oloroso sherry cask, which is right here. And a couple of things I want to point out. Both 1992, the Pedro Ximenez is a year younger, but this one bottled at 57.1% ABV. But this one is only 49.2, so there's an 8% difference in ABV, even though this is a year younger, which just intrigues me, and a question I get asked significantly as a whiskey connoisseur or a salesperson or whatever you might want to say is, why a single cask whiskey? And this is exactly why. The huge variation in ABV is showing us that two casks, even though they might have been the same warehouse or maybe in sister warehouses close to each other, have had completely different life cycles, where one has lost a lot more ABV than the others, maybe has more flavor. And that's what a single cask whiskey gives you. It allows you to get more of those flavors, that natural phenomena of the cask, instead of what you get in the official bottling. For example, an 18-year-old, let's just pick one up, Glendronach, because we're drinking Glendronach now. You know, it's an 18-year-old Glendronach, which is an outstanding whiskey, but it's a marriage of several barrels. There's no sort of one dimension that you can pick on, which might amaze you or annoy you. Either way, hopefully it will amaze you, considering the prices these single casks are going for. But you will find that one dimension or that one oddity or something nice about that single cask that just takes it home for you. But that sort of watered down official releases will not allow that. They might be outstanding, but they will not stand alone like a single cask. So this one being at 49.2%, again, like the other 1992, very deep in color, but maybe not as deep. You can see my face. There's my face. Can you see my teeth? All right, let's see what the 27-year-old PX does on the nose and then onto the palate. There's the color. Reasonably dark, not overly dark, nowhere as dark as the Oloroso. Ooh, sweetness. Wow. Very defined sweetness, actually. Just a hint of honey up front. That raisiny sweetness, but it's a bit more profound than that. I don't want to say tropical fruit sweetness, because that's a bit far, but it is rich sweet. Wow. Maybe a subtle hint of cinnamon, just very tiny bit. Wow. Ripe cherry, am I getting there? Maybe a hint of ripe cherry. And the cinnamon's there again. Wow. Just can't get over the color of these long-aged Glendronach single casks. Wow. And how oily they are. Even though I'm using a high definition, high quality smartphone, but it's very hard to show you the whiskey legs. The whiskey is running the side of the glass, it's hitting the rim, and it's running down very slowly, very oily, very thick. Better get a sip in. Wow. First thoughts, it's reminding me significantly of some of my most favorite long age Irish whiskies. It's got that defined sweetness, very rich, but one key difference between those long age Irish whiskey and this one is, this is very oily, very rich on the palate. Where the Irish whiskey, being triple distilled, very light, very fruity, and it kind of disappears quickly off the palate. But this is very thick, very, very chewy, loads of oil, and that's probably the key difference of being a double distilled. Gotta love Scotch whiskey. Double distilled has more oomph to it. Just my thoughts. I could be wrong, but oh wow, the sweetness is so thick. What would you pair this with? Nothing. Wow. So rich on the nose. Subtle hints of spice. Just a little, still making me crackle. Alright, time to see what the experts at Glendronach say about this particular whiskey. On the nose, dark chocolate. I did not get dark chocolate. There we go. Coated cherry. I did get cherry. Victorian plum, yeah. Layers of toasted winter spice. I did get spice. Angelica, walnut, and mint. Walnut's an interesting one. I did not get that on the nose. I did find it a bit oaky, but it was not overly oaky. I think the Oloroso sherry one, the 28-year-old 1992, gave me a lot more oak on the nose. This one didn't as much. And they reckon on the palate, this is where my Indian accent's going to kick in. A swath of silk, velvet, cherry, and plum dusted with cocoa, becoming earthy bramble wine and lingering white truffle. It's just so good. So good. Wow. And that spice and that sort of what is turning into almost like a mocha character is lingering on the back of the palate beautifully. And long it may continue. Wow. So good. So good. Definitely worth getting your hands on one. Go to your favorite whiskey bar and demand a dram of it. I mean, this one again is in that $700 to $800 retail category. Is it worth it? If your income allows it, yes, 100%, go for it. If not, hope like hell your whiskey bar would have a bottle and you can try a dram or two. Or be friends with someone like I am who lets you review their bottles. Wow, that's something very special. Well, that's all I got to say about this particular dram. If you are liking the content, please like, share and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you in the very near future with another whiskey review. See you later.